Hey guys, Bone here checking back in, and today I'm going to share really quickly with you something that would be very important, I feel, for martial artists and for people who are serious about achieving goals in general, people who are trying to improve their focus or maybe just trying to better their lives a little bit through achieving goals and through doing some greater things, small goals and getting better every day. So let me really jump right into proprioception and visualization. Now, visualization you've probably heard of. And I've talked a little bit about goals here and setting goals for yourself, but I think it's important to have maybe like a 5-year plan, a 1-year plan, and then daily goals. Okay, I keep a notes section in my iPhone that's goals for the day. I don't always get all of them done every day, but they're just goals that I'm chipping away at. And then I have a 5-year plan, and there's things that I want to do in the future here, this far in the future and all that. But I think it's important to have micro goals. So visualization kind of goes in line with that. And visualization to me is kind of almost like daydreaming. You're passing through these things in your mind, and you're picturing these things, and when you're making these goals, you sit down, you take the time to meditate, to pray. If you believe in your higher power, if you're a Christian like I am, then you pray about it, you ask God for it, and you actually picture what that's going to look like. Then when you picture what it's going to look like, you have to picture what it's going to take to get there today, what it's going to take to get there this month, what it's going to take to get there this year. So that's visualization. Now, proprioception is something that's kind of completely different, but I want to really relate this video to how much the mind has control over the body. And the mind has a ton of control over the body. Let me give this proprioception talk real quick. Proprioception to me is really just your awareness of your body in space, knowing exactly where your body's at in space, but it's not just that. I'll give this martial arts example. If I ask you right now, where does your hand bend when you make a fist? Where does it bend? Where does your hand bend when you make a fist? Comment below if you think you know where your hand bends when you make a fist. It doesn't bend at the knuckle. That's what everybody thinks. But it bends actually inside the palm of the hand, where you see these creases. Now, please excuse the damage that has been done to my hand through, well, I won't get into a lot of the details, but obviously I've had parts of my hand blown off. Don't really worry about that. The point here is that the hand bends in the middle where you see these creases on your palm, okay? What that means is that when I make a fist, I need to realize where my hand bends in order to realize where my body is and where I'm at in space and time and how I'm throwing a punch. This is the kind of thought that has gone that deep into stuff like the bone opener and bone breaker, all right? If I would have thought that my hand bends at the knuckle, I never would have been able to design the most effective, I wouldn't have been able to design the most effective edged weapons and self-defense tools in the world if I thought that my hand bends at the knuckle. No, I have to realize that these are the small bones of the hand that need to be supported, okay? And the only way to support those is if I have something inside of my hand supporting them. Metal directly backing up those small bones. Now, that's just an example. But we need to, when we visualize our goals in life and where we want to be and picture ourselves being where we want to be, we also need to visualize going through these scenarios that we think that we're prepared for. If you carry a firearm, have you visualized what's going to happen? And be very careful when you do. Because if you visualized yourself shooting or hurting somebody else with your firearm, have you got angry and pictured yourself doing something like shooting someone? Be very careful with that. Because what your mind is doing is preparing your body to carry out those tasks. Be very careful what you visualize. Because if you visualized yourself using some of these tools that you carry as a weapon, make sure you only visualize those circumstances as a last-ditch effort. Make sure you visualize yourself running away, getting out of that situation, protecting your loved ones and those around you first before you just target someone or shoot someone out of anger or something like that. Be careful with your visualization, guys. Now, the next thing is proprioception. Where do you carry your firearm? Where do you carry your knife? Because you can't bring a gun everywhere. So where do you carry your bone opener? Do you really know a spot that you carry it every time where it's always accessible? Have you visualized yourself using that and getting it and out? When you walk to your car, do you already have it in your hand like this because it's your keys? Are you prepared mentally? Not just physically? Just carrying one of these isn't good enough, guys. You need to be mentally prepared and run through those paces. So now if I've prepared myself for walking to my car mentally late at night one night and somebody jumps out and tries to hurt me, if I'm already mentally prepared, I know where this sits in my hand. I carry it. I carry it in my hand when I walk to my truck. Okay? If I have another gun or a knife on me, then I might carry it in my left hand. Have I visualized all that stuff? Do I know that my wrist, it doesn't line up straight through these knuckles right here when I throw a punch? It doesn't line up through these knuckles. No, it lines up through these knuckles. That's why this is here, okay? This is going to break my wrist. If you don't use proprioception to be aware of the bones in your body and where they're at and what they do, you're going to try and throw a punch like this instead of like this, as you should. Guys, I challenge you to visualize and use proprioception when you visualize. Study your body. Study your kit. Study what you carry. Visualize positive, not negative. Don't visualize yourself going out there and hurting people. Visualize positives, outcomes to positive situations for preparedness as well as future goals. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you like this video. The way that I can keep making these videos for you guys is if you like, comment, subscribe, share. You got to get involved with the channel here, please. Because if you don't, I'm not going to be able to keep making these videos. All right, I'm doing it every day right now because I have a little bit more time because of the current pandemic situation. I would love to keep doing that, but I need your help. And I appreciate your help, and I appreciate your support. Thank you for sitting with me at my table. Bone out.